What's up, guys? You already know what we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about how to focus in work, school, or anything else. So let's go ahead and talk about it right now. So as usual, you know I'm going to come to you with problem, solution, and outcome. So when it comes to lack of ability to focus on something that you need to, I'm going to highlight something here. I'm going to call it subconscious reverse priority. So just to define it real quick, subconscious reverse priority is when your brain associates pleasure to something that you shouldn't be doing and associates pain to something that you should be doing. So let's kind of jump into that and dissect that a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. An instant feeling of fulfillment, that's one issue, and we don't really get a lot of life progress from that. So let's give some examples. We got TikTok, right? TikTok is like literally designed to hijack your attention span and basically cram you with tons of instant gratification. Your brain interprets that as pleasure, and we're wired biologically to like that. Our biology encourages us to do more of what brings us pleasure. So if we look at our ancestors, we were driven to survive by things that bring us pleasure. Food tastes great, eat more food so you stay alive. Something hits you, it hurts, don't do that because you could die. So it's like very simple and basic. However, it's kind of hijacked when we look at things like social media, YouTube, Facebook. You just post something on Facebook and get tons of likes and stuff from your friends. It's little things like that that we need to be careful about. I'm not saying that we need to totally eliminate them, but we need to be conscious of how instant gratification affects our behavior and the choices that we make, and it's ultimately going to affect how you study in the long run. When it comes to something like studying, it's a prolonged activity and you're not really going to get any pleasure from it until, let's say, you graduate or you pass your class or you pass a test. So it's a lot of activity that you're putting into it up front, so you don't really get that dopamine effect that you would get from, let's say, TikTok. TikTok's going to give it to you all up front. Studying, you're not going to get it up front. You're going to get it, and it might not even be in as much abundance of a feeling once you pass a test. You should feel great about it when you pass a test. We're getting those senses of pleasure and overloading our brain with it to the point where it's hard to appreciate the victories that you get when you do study and do pass a test, for example. You have these two opposing forces. So when you go to study, now all of a sudden studying is boring and your brain is like, that's painful. No, do something that brings you pleasure. And it's like, go do TikTok, go do social media. So you want to put down studying for a moment or whatever it is that you're doing. And then all of a sudden you're on social media or on TikTok, and now you've wasted an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And now you're like, oh, what am I doing with my life? And now you're feeling depressed because you haven't gotten much done and you want to do things that progress your life, but it's starting to seem a little bit tough. Now that we've highlighted a little bit of the problem when it comes to being able to focus, now let's talk about some solutions, because just making you aware of the problem isn't good enough. We need some solutions that will actually benefit us and help us get where we want to go. I'm going to introduce a concept to you that I'm going to call staggered instant fulfillment. What is that? We've got to admit, we live in 2022. We're on the cusp of 2023. We're not going to get rid of social media. We live in a digital world. Most of us are working from home. It's just not going to happen. We use it to connect with our families, with our friends, to follow up on all the things we enjoy. So pretty much everything that we do in life now, in some form or another, is intertwined in social media in most cases. You could make a small argument on that, but you see where I'm going when it comes to focus. But what I'm getting at here is that since we're not going to be able to get rid of it, and we may not completely want to get rid of it, I would say that we use them to our advantage and not our disadvantage. What do I mean by that? Here's an example. Train your brain to receive 30 minutes of TikTok as a reward for studying for 1.5 hours. You go and study, and then you kind of trick your brain into receiving pleasure for doing the task of studying. So that way, you still get to get all of the instant fulfillment that you enjoy, but you discipline yourself to do something to earn the ability to enjoy those things. Or you wanted to jump on Instagram, you're going to study for 45 minutes before you get 15 minutes of Instagram. And when the 15 minutes is up, cut it off. Train your brain, hey, I got to do another 45 minutes of studying to enjoy another 15 minutes minutes of Instagram. You can create a ratio that's both beneficial and productive, as well as mentally stimulating and instantly gratifying. Now that we've talked about the problem, we've talked a little bit about the solution, let's go ahead and highlight some of the outcomes of executing this solution. By practicing this approach, you're definitely gonna be able to study, you're definitely gonna be able to work or focus in general on whatever it is that you need to focus on. So that way you aren't swept away by instantly gratifying things that doesn't quite yield any results. And you're also not punishing yourself by completely just taking away TikTok or just taking away Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or whatever. You know, there's no need to just like brutally punish yourself. You can still enjoy the things that you love, still study at the same time. This is an approach that ingrains responsibility, but also allows you to have fun at the same time. So don't neglect it. That's all the doc has for you today. Remember to join the Discord. We have giveaways every single week. We're giving away Nitro and gift cards just simply for being an active member of the community. And you're gonna wanna hang out with us because we're some cool people anyway. But look, that's gonna be it for today. Remember, the world is dangerous, so protect your energy. Trust me, I'm a doctor. I'll see you next time.
Looking back through the time we've shared a lot of tears, but baby, don't give up. We're gonna persevere.